What's up, y'all? It's your boy MILES, GRANT, and today I want to teach y'all a couple methods that can make your album or your song sound like a movie or feel like a movie. There's a couple different ways that you can do this. There's no perfect way to do this. This is just a couple things that you can add, but you basically got to figure it out off of what your spirit and what your mind telling you to do. So one of the things that you can do is you can close your eyes and you can create whatever reality that you want and just rap with your eyes closed or freestyle with your eyes closed while you're recording. And wherever you're at, you can really take somebody there. Now, from a writer's standpoint, a good way to take somebody to a different world and make your song feel like a movie is to literally write it like a movie script. So write it as if somebody's talking to somebody on the verse, and then you can use techniques with changing the pitch, making the pitch go up so it sounds like one person is talking and then it sounds like another person is talking. That's a good way to make it sound like somebody's having a conversation with somebody on the track. There's a song I have called 2K VR. It's about jumping inside 2K and being stuck in the video game forever. And it's a pretty cool song. I haven't put it out yet, but that's a method that I use for that record, and it worked for me. Another thing that you can do is you can basically find an MP3 converter and take the audio clips from your favorite movies and put it at the beginning of the song before the beat drops, maybe put it in the middle for an interlude before the beat drops or switches up, and then put it at the end. So then for an album, you might put a different part of that movie on the beginning of the next song to transition and kind of give listeners a hint of what's coming on. And the people that's really, really into that album, they're going to listen to it from top to bottom because they want to get that experience. So yeah, you can make your album feel like a movie. Like with Good Kid, Mad City, what Kendrick did was he had a lot of his friends that would normally, a lot of his artists and a lot of his peers that he would normally do songs with, he had them do the skits. He had them basically emulate the voices of his mom, his dad, his peoples, everybody, to tell that story of him being a good kid in a mad city. And it transitioned. If you think about it, I don't know what's your favorite Kendrick Lamar album, leave it in the comments, but that's my second favorite Kendrick Lamar album. So that's a good way to tell a story. J. Cole would do the thing where he would have the squeaky voice and then do the deep voice so it sounds like it's two people talking, like the method I just mentioned. That's something I also do as well that I just really fell in love with, because say you're not able to get people in the studio but you still want to tell your story and you don't want to limit your creativity, because you got to work with where you are now, and then maybe by doing that, you may attract the right people around you to do the skits for you for your next one. And another beauty in this is you could probably make a movie out of your album. A lot of times you could really tell your life story just off of having certain audio clips or having certain cuts and everything like that. So that's a good way to really tell a story and to make your track a movie. But to just make one song feel like a whole movie, it's probably gonna take some switch ups. Listen to a lot of Kanye West, listen to Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, listen to Eminem, listen to a lot of them bar spitters, listen to a lot of the really good MCs, because they have a really creative way of telling a story and taking you somewhere. Wale is a good one too. Some people can tell a story sonically as well. Another good method is learning how to tell a story sonically without necessarily saying the words. Have you ever listened to a song and then you watched the music video and the music video had nothing to do with the song? My point exactly. You can say something without saying something, and you don't necessarily have to write what you're trying to convey. You can explain it in a way that's so lyrical and so abstract that it can mean so many different things. So when somebody closes their eyes, they may see diamonds when they hear you rapping. When somebody else closes their eyes, they may see an emerald. When somebody else closes their eyes, they may see a pearl, because music is so subjective. That's a tip to also become more lyrical, because when you can take somebody somewhere, you got to remember we be going through stuff, whether it's good or bad. We go through life, and in order to grow, we go through pain. So sometimes when we listen to music, some of the songs you like may not be the most positive songs for your mental health, but because it takes you somewhere, you enjoy it. So even sometimes creating a story that doesn't exist, or creating a track about manifesting something that you want, that can take somebody to a place. You can make a track about where you want to be in your life 5 years from now and play it out, and that could actually happen. And then when somebody listens to it, they can manifest the life that they want from listening to that as well, and that can mean something for them. So you don't have to just stick to your stories, you can stick to more than that. You also can tell your friends' stories. Sometimes your friends may not be that good at rapping, or they may not know how to express themselves, and they have some stuff that they want to tell people that can help somebody or take somebody to a certain place. And you just got to remember, when you see certain people perform, have y'all ever seen somebody perform and like they change their wardrobe backstage while they're performing, or they like come up with a skit or something? You ever notice when Biggie, on the movie about Biggie, his homeboys was like fighting and we thought it was a real fight, but then he came out and started rapping? It's like when you can give somebody an experience, it's just different, because a lot of songs can get repetitive and be the same thing. It's like hook, verse, and then fade out. So then when you switch it up and have like the song maybe chopped and screwed at the beginning and then it's sped up and then it changes again to a different beat that's the same tempo, has DJ scratches, just by you doing certain stuff sonically and picking certain beats, you can take somebody somewhere. Just by you using lyrics and having skits and having audio clips from movies or having audio clips from like E.T. the Hip Hop Preacher, like using that as a motivational speech and then taking somebody somewhere. Or maybe one of your favorite artists, like I was listening to a beat and Nipsey Hussle was talking on it. And this doesn't have any lyrics on it, it just has the beat to it. And when you hear it, you're like, oh shoot, like this really takes me somewhere. This really makes me want to either make a certain song or it makes me want to do something a certain way. When you take people somewhere, when you take yourself somewhere, it's a different level of entertainment. And that's what I call audio movies. So this is something that I'm also doing, so I can go back and watch this and take notes as well, because I like to study myself as well. You know, I advise y'all to study yourself, study your music. You probably already subconsciously done a lot of this stuff and just didn't realize that there's methods and techniques. So this is really just a confirmation that you're moving in the right direction. So that's how you make your singles and your albums feel like a movie. And I'm telling you, when you can take yourself and take people there, it makes it a lot easier when you make a music video. It makes it a lot easier when you're performing. It's like, yo, like, you could close your eyes and go to a whole different reality just off of making music. And that's so powerful. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Comment some stuff that you want to add, because I'm trying to make more movies. I'm trying to make more audio movies, more visual movies, all kinds of stuff. There's no limit on music. So add your input, add your opinions, add what you believe can help the equation, because we all can help each other. We all students and teachers out here. And I value y'all opinions a lot. All right, y'all.